There have been quite a few features that CIG said at CitizenCon will be added in Alpha 3.22, but what features are they? What features have been committed to the next patch, and why aren't other features committed? All of this and more will be revealed as we discuss what will come later this year, and some things that you might not have expected. Now, with the release of 3.21.1 for IEE, this adds a ton of features like vehicle tractor beams, ship trespass system, a new player experience for new Babbage, the vehicle headlight refactor, the new data heist mission, and Squadron 42 AI integration. This patch definitely isn't lacking. Doesn't that leave only a month for 3.22 to commit its features and release a patch? Honestly, I'm willing to bet that they'll release it to the PTU and deliver a few hotfixes prior to going on their Christmas break, as is tradition for CIG. 3.21.1 has definitely been a pretty solid patch so far, minus some issues with a few bugs here and there. But as someone who witnessed the new AI update and played on a 30 FPS server, NPCs are actually no joke now. I've jumped into quite a few platform missions on Orison, and it was honestly the most fun I've had playing Star Citizen in a long time. I only hope that once they lock down master modes and perfect the flight model, it becomes equally as entertaining as FPS combat. With the release of 3.22 comes the player hair update, which adds 20 new hairstyles to the character customizer, including long hair, tied hair, and updates to existing short hairstyles. I was hoping for the new character editor, but I expect that will come around the time of the release of Squadron 42. We also have tentative updates like derelict settlements, which will fulfill both gameplay and social elements, and we've seen a few of these in previous Inside Star Citizen episodes. Structural salvage, or formerly known as hull munching, which will allow us to salvage large chunks of metal for ships into a refinable material and use the grinder system aboard salvage ships like the Vulture and Reclaimer. A new cargo container inventory system will also be seen in the next patch that will allow us to store items and smaller cargo containers into large cargo containers. Now, I really hope we can store ship missiles and weapons into these containers to further add more to the rearming gameplay. Two new Arena Commander maps will be added as well, such as Maker's Point on Hurston, which will primarily focus on FPS modes, and Bloodshot Ridge will be added to FPS and flight modes except for Classic Race and Pirate Swarm. Multi-crew and spawn locations will be added to Arena Commander, and will update all maps to utilize a new spawn location system for us to jump into multi-crew ships, and will be added to Squadron Battle, Pirate Swarm, Vandal Swarm, Team Tank Battle, and Free Flight. I would expect to see an experimental release of the resource management gameplay during this patch as well. The experimental mode will be added to Arena Commander for testing, similar to how the Master Mode's testing is done in the current patch. This is probably so they can get it to a state ready for when they drop Alpha 4.0 in the first half of 2024. And lastly, the Apoa Santakyai and the Origin X1 series hoverbike will be added to 3.22 as well. But what else can we possibly expect to get that has yet to be added to the roadmap? From the horse's mouth directly during CitizenCon were other updates like the updates to clouds, fog, and light shafts that will bring further amazing lighting and scenes into the atmosphere. They also confirmed that the Duster's gang will be added to Stanton and will have 3 new armors. Freight elevators were another major feature that was discussed to possibly make it into 3.22, which will make our cargo and inventory more physicalized. How this will work is you'll interact with a terminal and select the items you want to spawn, and an elevator will bring up the items and ground vehicles so that you can load it up onto your ship and take off from your hangar. This fixes the annoying loop to having to spawn your ship, take off, land near a ground vehicle terminal, spawn the vehicle in the garage, and then load it into your ship. There are other engine improvements and features that could possibly make it into 3.22, such as Vulcan Renderer and some UI updates. Sadly, we will probably not see any updates to the star map just yet, but maybe we'll see it in 4.0. Server meshing could also be another feature we might see make it into a separate experimental branch into the EPTU that could allow us to test that major update to the game, which may also increase the player cap in the PU. And finally, Bounty Hunting 2.0 was something that we could expect to see in 3.22, simply because there was a lot of talk about it prior to CitizenCon, and they were heavily working on getting the additional features and the locations where you'll be able to bring outlaws you capture to turn into the authorities. What are the most anticipated features you expect to see in 3.22? Let me know in the comments below. After a lot more showing and less telling in this CitizenCon, they had a lot more features that they revealed, and quite a bit of what looks like to be in a good state that could be added to the game at any point. Now, I don't expect to get everything that they showed off that was in game, but it does allow features to be quickly added into 3.22 or even 4.0. With the release of Pyro and 4.0 fast approaching, there are a lot of updates on the horizon, and I'm hoping that soon we'll see a roadmap update for 4.0 and possibly beyond. While this is unlikely, this is my hope for the future. If you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more great Star Citizen news and gameplay, subscribe for more and check out these videos for more. As always, I hope that you have a wonderful day, happy holidays, and I will see you in the next video. Have a go.